I'm here to have an interview with my dearest mother, who is a widow. And then, as we already know, this interview is based on an NGO named Widow and Son, headed by Madame Benedicta, who is currently not with us here, and then managed by Bishop Jofel Apialagbe. So that is it for today. On my left here, I have Madame Gladys Nati. She is a widow, and then she's coming to share her experience with us. So stay tuned. All right. And you know, Madame Gladys, Gladys Nati, you didn't say would you know, but then you better say, over trying how longer, and I'm a tinting a free moon. I'll free 4 years. I'll free 4 years. Okay. Now, what are we free here? Krobodumase region, Ben, Eastern region, and I'll run in so now we're free. Akwana almost free. Okay. And you know, the idea say your tone suffer dear. Then you say we are kuneni kekenti any air from. Then maybe at a say any ya show. I don't hear per se one yen eche. Now and crofo now webby idea woman the diabo. Until I say walk no free one also a free 4 years near. At a say bang a dear I also say at a say. Ana adia aye wo ya wo bi dia ya o se na busuam wo busuam he papoten mantemu a wo tie bia o hene bi o wo sofo bi facha ye na busuam fo na busuam fo na do fati o ka se na busuam fo na do fa atiti mo a saying atete ben sa atete obuli ya fa mo ni se if Papa ni ba yare na o free mu pe yi na se po yesi ma mi ma go yesi mi na mi ko ni ti ba mi ba yi na se ko yesi wona wo ko no ti enti yi asa ti ma mi si bo enti wo de no so ye ka ahyase na wo to ho a na ye hyase edi wani pa cha ibi asase oni ye wo asase ye to ye kra no mu si wo mu ji e fi se almost some ideas are saying if you ever young papa bebre when I mean you are so sorry then you are some kids who are any then easy and easy Nicola bikita nkolatre okita nkolatre nkolano omusha omufiye omu around but omufiye achoga home so amanye. So as per what our mother here is saying, what she's actually saying is that right from the onset of the death of her husband, the relatives of the deceased spouse started maltreating her. There and then they asked them not to even step foot at the husband's funeral because they claimed she was the cause of the husband's death. And then afterwards, the land that the husband left for them, the family members were actually litigating over the land to actually take it for themselves. Then till now, according to what she is saying, they have deserted the family, including the children. So that is her experience, but then she would have to expatiate. That is the next thing that we'll be moving on to. And now we'll cast and talk. We'll cast pray as call to them.
I knew it was them, but I was a phone no more sorry. So more just as an apple. No more than a year. No more than a year. Almost one more toss as an apple. It's me on the book at almost say, oh, more penny because baby, I had that for men yet. Yet be shop and meet me age more than I want and I yet that. Nasa shop with Uncle Sapona and Papa must move to some with you. Nasa, as I said, no, not for him. One patch or a fin. I feel a mobile. Was I no, one has another thing. If I know you want to them. And see, oh, yeah, I didn't know where will be war and a bantam woman who saw was that. Oh, I can't tell almost so as us. Oh, they won't walk catch her or one. How are you, baby? Was why you footing was shooting himself. Your boo, you know. Now fed your more press as so more GD at twice, you know. A year I see in Sigom. And you know, what were you couldn't and so far as I see,
Ye jam kola, yen shem kola, yen fi mosesiano. And Susan so bang, and ye dear so. Adam put kola ne so.
So I look for the easy.
But before I had a phone, and now yet today, assassin, ye diamond, and no money at all. Assassin, I had diamond. See a banner saying, because so send no.
Me na me here plan me no because here plan. And I depend back can say papa ni denika. Because of that, you know, I'm boyful. Say, me na me G assassin or me kola no mo di assassin ni assassin purpose ni kola ni na ache me economic to assassin na me fan go chia saka no. Nti anu na ma me saka assassin.
So, just as I said earlier on, she said that they were actually litigating over that land. The land was situated at Afienya, Mobile to be precise. Then they were residing in Matahiko. Then after the death, they wanted to take the land from the woman and her kids, with the only excuse that they wanted to sell the land to bury the man whom they claimed she had killed. So she decided to actually conspire with another person to make it seem as if the man was in debt before his death. And so I think the man or the person she conspired with agreed. And then they confronted the relatives of the deceased spouse. But then when they confronted the relatives, they rather got annoyed. And they told the woman that if this is the case, then we are leaving the land together with your kids. We are giving everything to you. Do not contact us because we have handed everything over to you. And to say your personal, so only obi ko hye ho nipa na one ne ko hye ho no oye wadanfo oye wo wadanfo na dan na hasan ne ba no wan fan ko dan peni bi sofo ohene bi adan po no obi anfiri wo abusua mu am antai wachi
Kacha me ni me busa fana ko enti me ni me busa fana yes apla
na when who say otitiru ni bia o commande obuo ewo guy ne busua ni which is sukuru ebusua ni mo hanka on ne be yesan hyehyere ne wadan so
amunyi na bo mo pe me ma
because fiti ne maame komo pe ni
ne maame podo wuye ni anu wuye no wa ma ti baba na ni maame su
ti ne maame de ye kakra won ka ba papa no de
baba fasu ni
papa enso ni mi anu de na ansa na wukunu no be wu no na woni omo entemo to say
oh ni no mo ya fine fine
na woni omo ya fine
ti cry ya me wa so mo ya sa achire me no mo ya fine fine
anti papa no won ko na say
kacha kacha
nkola mi
sasha
ma
kacha 2 girls and 1 boy
anti after 4 years when you na echi no omo dia sanse ne shell so omo pon nkola ne ma wo abrabo asetena mu to say
me toma bien kakra hakantie no na examination mo kakra
until the first born maybe be say
Pasha was 15
and the last one
7 years
till the first born maybe be say
Pasha was 15 Pasha
and the last one
7 years
I see until na mfa problem ya mecho so say bia adwendwen akasakasa areku
adwendwen ni areho ni de wo honsu ba ni den wodwunya na de ni je na amanyame
until se sia ye ti he so wunya mo a wo pe wunya mo a wani beje e mo ben sa na wo be
me de mo a me pani se me wo asase enti me pesanka ye bo me na me si dan kan cause baby I want we obi na asase so na yo obi ama ya asase na ya boki oso so ndi ban o tu yenti
ni pani tu me that's no. Well, what the woman is saying is quite saddening. If you can actually look on the screen, you can see that she is on the verge of crying, but then we still hold on to what we are saying. According to her, just as I said earlier on, the relatives had actually deserted her and the kids. 4 years now, there has been virtually no support for either her or her kids. Sad enough, someone has actually given them a piece of land, or should I say had given them a piece of land to mount a structure on to stay. She's with 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. The first is 15 years old. The least is 7. Is the only one taking care of her kids. She actually sews to make ends meet. What she is saying is that she would love if someone would actually help her build at least a little house, something that can contain them on her piece of land, which is the one that the deceased spouse had left for her. And then if someone can actually help with the upkeep of the kids, she would be glad. I would have to break it down because she's on the verge of crying. See, I know, Mijidi said, Tanya Woka said, Niamube Dimpo, I dene dear. And yes, also what consult you be a say, who could seek counseling and a therapy bimpo. Yes, sure. I said, okay, you've already talked about that one, say, oh, Yamwa. I won't call any baby, I'm moving at the toe. Problem in Nivo. Ceciano, the Mwaba Sabia. Who can no bush for no more tete one? The Yomuba family fine swat, a idea will be penny. I think I can make us a no only home here. Sabia, Yadomo family fine so, Sabin Colane Papa Jar warm for me. It shall say at least Bakujina, Uncle Ye Jadaman, considering the fact, say, Pedimuno, I is 17, 15. Na one year 7. One person one so. Oh, feel free. Oh, person one.
Among us, I'm only being
among us, I'm poor. So that no more process in him. Da say, and ye penny in the castle, wapa, no person or French ye move. Emma, moi, ye name was she, and I, or French ye mama or moi. Wabom one, no so about one, more for one, Obeba, Obeba, the casa. Send your walk Sunday, Bacassa over the Cassa. Mrs. said, Otuaba, and so. Alright. Ain't you know? Answer na penimone beban, or no so your kunini, Kutapola. Near walking, while funny a chain same. Yamaya na doom with Pajanesi baby. Tina said, ne, or so over. Nemo can be treno. Kuneni to Kuneni can be treno. Jane, I'll be pesa over catching. And I'll be our message be our pesa with the message bang, and I'll be pesa over catching.
But I'll make a say, I mean, can you know, man, I'm wanting now, and one of us are the boy, and make a more not it boy.
Okay. So I think that will be the final message of Madam Gladys Nati. What she is saying is that she doesn't see the need or the relatives of the late husband to be dragged into this whole issue. Because in the first place, they themselves are not well to do. That is why they were all about taking the land from her. And then she would have laughed if at least a person would stand as a father to the children. Considering the age span, they are very young. They are not even eligible to vote, not even the eldest. So she would have laughed if at least a person would stand from the husband's side as a substitute father for the kids. But unfortunately, because of circumstances, it is not happening that way. And then what she would say is that to Madame Benedicta is that the Lord himself should strengthen her as she has decided to take an initiative that will help widows and widowers in Ghana. The Lord should be a guide, more grease to her elbow. The Lord should give her a big heart to accommodate every type of widow or widower. Thank you.